You know that feeling, right? The one where the clock's just ticking away and your to-do list feels, I don't know, almost like it's mocking you.
Oh, absolutely. You feel buried.
Yeah. And then you look around and you see other people, and it seems like they're just sailing through life, launching things, learning new stuff, actually, doing things.
Well, you feel stuck, like you're wading through mud.
Exactly. Stuck in that quicksand of just daily demands.
It's so, so common, that feeling of just never having enough time.
Yeah.
But here's the paradox, isn't it? The thing our source material really digs into,
Which is?
we all get the same 24 hours. Everyone. So maybe the question isn't really, how do I get more time?
Right.
Maybe it's more like, why do some people achieve so much with the hours they have?
Yeah.
And, why do others feel like it's constantly slipping through their fingers?
Yes. And that is precisely what we're getting into today. We've been immersed in Thibaut Miris's book, Master Your Time. And his main point, wow, it really hits home. He basically says the problem isn't the amount of time we have. It's often more about how we perceive it, how we use it.
Or even if we value it properly.
Do we actually value those 24 hours? That's the core.
And that's our mission for this deep dive, really, to pull out the key insights from Muris's work, the practical tools, the mindset shifts.
But yeah, actionable stuff.
Exactly. Things that can help you, our listener, move from feeling, well, overwhelmed to actually taking the reins, using your time for what genuinely matters to you.
Okay, so let's dive in. Where do we start? What does mastering time even, mean according to this source? Because he's very clear it's not just about being busy.
No, not at all. He reframes productivity completely. It's not about packing more and more activities into the day.
Or just checking boxes.
Right. Productivity, the way Maris defines it, is about making effective use of your time, focusing your energy, your attention on the right tasks.
The things that actually move the needle.
With intention.
With focus.
It's about the impact.
Okay, so quality over quantity. Makes sense. And what about time itself? He really hammers home its unique nature, doesn't he, as a resource?
He does. And it's such a powerful point to internalize. Time is, arguably, our most finite resource.
Yeah.
It's completely non-renewable.
Every second is just...
That's a one-time event. Once it's passed, it's gone.
Yeah.
You can't get it back. You can't store it up. You certainly can't make more of it.
Unlike, say, money or labor, you can get more of those.
Exactly. You can increase capital. You can hire more people. But time, it just flows one direction only.
And the implication there is pretty stark. Time you spend unproductively isn't just, wasted in the moment.
It's gone forever. He uses that example of the thousands of hours people might spend watching TV over a lifetime.
Yeah.
Just a vivid picture of time vanishing without any kind of return on investment.
Okay, wow. That hits hard. Which I guess leads straight into one of the biggest myths he wants to bust. That phrase we all use.
I don't have time.
Guilty. It's the go-to excuse, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But Muris argues, pretty convincingly, I think, that this phrase often just masks, well, unclear priorities.
Or you just don't know where it's going.
Or you're simply unaware of how you're actually spending your time. He cites some, frankly, mind-blowing statistics.
Like the screen time one.
Yeah. The average American spending over 14 years of their life on screens, TV, internet combined. 14 years.
Whoa.
And then add sleep, that's maybe 21 years or so over a typical lifespan. So just those two things.
That's more than a quarter of your life right there.
Easily. So when you see numbers like that...
Suddenly, I don't have time feels less like a fact and, I don't know, more like a choice. Or maybe a story we tell ourselves.
That's exactly his point. Saying, I don't have time, is basically giving away your personal power.
Yeah.
You're implying you're a victim of your schedule, of circumstances.
Never thought of it that way.
And he suggests a really simple, but often incredibly revealing exercise. Just keep a time log, even for just a week.
Just track where it goes.
Yeah. Write it down. You might be genuinely shocked at where those hours and minutes are actually disappearing.
Okay. So the absolute starting point, the foundation according to the source, is really valuing time. Seeing it as this incredibly precious, non-renewable thing.
Yes. Because everything else flows from that.
Yeah.
Achieving meaningful goals, living a fulfilling life. It starts with truly appreciating the value of each hour, each minute.
It's the bedrock.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's say we've internalized that. We value our time. What's next? The source talks a lot about how we perceive time. And this bit is fascinating. He says, only the present is actually real.
Yeah, it's a bit philosophical, but it has really practical consequences. The idea is that the past It's gone. The future, not here yet. They're mental constructs, ideas in your head.
Okay.
The only time you're actually living, the only place you can take action, make a choice, experience anything is right now, this present moment.
The now is where the magic happens, I think he says.
That's the phrase.
Yeah.
But of course, you're probably thinking, well, don't we need the past and future?
Yeah. How do we use them if they're not, real in the same way?
We absolutely use them. But the key, Maurice argues, is using them productively, not getting lost in them.
Okay. So the past.
The past shouldn't be a life sentence of regret or rumination. It should be a source of life lessons.
Learn from it.
Exactly. Focus on your past successes. Remember times you were courageous. And crucially, reframe negative events. Find the lesson, the growth. What did you learn? How did it make you stronger?
And self-compassion for mistakes is important there too.
Hugely important. Be kind to your past self.
Yeah.
And practice letting go of what you can't change. Extract the wisdom, but don't live there.
Makes sense. Don't get stuck. What about the future then, if it's not real yet?
The future isn't for worrying. He calls worrying a misuse of the imagination.
Aha. I like that.
Instead, the future is for planning and for visualization. See your goals clearly. Imagine things going well.
Positive visualization.
Yes, but also practical planning.
Right.
Use the future to anticipate potential obstacles. Contingency planning. And think about it anticipating a future event, like planning a vacation. That can bring you pleasure right now, in the present. A clear, compelling vision of the future actually fuels your action today.
It kind of pulls you forward.
Exactly. It gives meaning to the steps you take now.
So, if the present is the only place we live, how do we make sure we're using it intentionally, productively?
Marie suggests treating each day almost like a micro-life, a self-contained unit.
A micro-life.
And he gives this really practical challenge, a kind of filter. Look at your activities through 7 criteria. Ask yourself, is this activity meaningful? Is it challenging, memorable, enjoyable? Does it enhance my self-worth? Is it effective towards my goals? Is it health-enhancing?
Wow, 7 things. That's quite a list. He uses that example of Netflix versus learning a language, right?
Yeah, learning Estonian, I think it was, that really highlights the difference. Watching Netflix, maybe it's enjoyable for a bit. But learning Estonian, that could be meaningful, challenging, definitely self-worth enhancing, effective if your goal is to learn it. It scores much higher on the quality of time spent, even if it feels harder initially.
It makes you really think about the return you're getting on your time. Is it just passing time, or are you building something?
Which leads perfectly into the next big distinction the source makes. Spending time versus investing time.
Okay, break that down for us. Spending versus investing.
Spending time, in Maurice's view, is basically wasting it. It's pouring your time and energy into activities that have no real, tangible, long-term benefit.
Like energy just leaking away.
Exactly. Mindless scrolling, hours of passive consumption. That time is spent. It's gone. No future dividends will come from it.
And investing time is?
Investing time is the opposite. It's consciously using your time and energy to create something valuable for the future.
Like what?
Well, it could be building memories with loved ones, learning a new skill, gaining knowledge through reading or courses, creating something art, a business, a project, or improving your health and well-being.
So you're transforming today's time into future value.
Precisely. You're building assets, whether they're skills, knowledge, relationships, or physical health. You're investing in your future self, your future life.
He does mention we need rest, of course. Downtime isn't always wasted.
Oh, absolutely. Rest is crucial. But he questions whether we always need as much passive downtime as we often take. Maybe reading a good book or playing a board game with family is actually a better investment of that rest time than, say, another hour of TV.
That's a good point. It's active rest versus passive consumption.
And he really challenges you, the listener, to look at your own ratio. How much time are you currently spending versus investing?
That's a tough question.
It is. And then he asks, if you keep going with this current ratio day after day, will you actually achieve what you want in life? Will you look back and feel it was time well spent?
Ooh, that's confronting.
It is. And if the answer is no, or maybe not, then the next question is, how can you start shifting that balance? How can you invest just a little more wisely starting today?
He even brings in the law of diminishing returns here, doesn't he?
Yeah, it applies to time use, too. His example is binge watching. Does that 4th hour of a show really bring you 4 times the enjoyment or relaxation as the first hour?
Probably not. Usually less, maybe.
Likely much less. You've hit diminishing returns. So maybe watch 1 or 2 episodes, get the enjoyment, and then consciously decide to invest the remaining time more effectively elsewhere.
And that ties into the idea that today's energy is finite.
Crucially, you cannot bottle up today's focus or energy and save it for tomorrow. It's use it or lose it for today.
So invest it wisely today. Don't assume you'll have more tomorrow.
Exactly. Make today's investment count.
Okay, so we get it. Time is precious. The present is key. Invest, don't just spend. But, life happens. How do we actually make those investments consistently? Day after day.
Now we get to the real engine of progress, according to Miris. Consistency.
Daily action.
The power of doing something every single day. He argues that exponential results, those big leaps, don't come from rare bursts of intense effort. They come from the relentless accumulation of small, consistent actions.
It builds momentum.
It builds momentum, and it activates what he calls the power of accumulation. It's like compound interest, but for your efforts.
The examples he uses are they're mind-bending when you extrapolate them.
They really are. Writing just 500 words a day seems manageable, right?
Yeah, maybe half an hour, an hour.
Over 10 years, that's the equivalent of writing 50 full-length books.
50 books, that's incredible.
Or learning just 5 new foreign words daily. 5 words.
Tiny.
Over 5 years, that's more than 9,000 words. That's enough to be conversational, even fluent in many languages.
Wow.
Walking 2 miles every day. Over a 40-year period, you'd walk further than the entire circumference of the Earth.
It just shows how those small daily deposits add up to something massive over time. Each little bit of time is way more valuable when it's part of a consistent routine.
And remember how we talked about the future vision? That compelling long-term goal.
Yeah, the planning and visualization.
That's what fuels this consistency. When you have a clear, exciting vision, those small daily steps don't feel like chores. They feel meaningful because you know they're taking you closer to that vision.
Okay, that makes sense. But here's the trap I fall into, and I bet others do too. That long-term vision can feel so far away.
That it doesn't create urgency for today.
Exactly. Oh, I've got plenty of time. I'll start tomorrow. It's the classic procrastination fuel.
Maurice nails this. He says, yearly goals often fail precisely because of this. A year feels almost infinite when you're standing at the beginning of it. There's no pressure to act now.
So how do we fight that? How do we create that urgency for today, for this week?
He offers several really practical techniques. First, set clear deadlines and make them challenging but achievable. Parkinson's law, right? Work expands to fill the time available.
So shorter deadlines force focus.
Exactly. Second, use an accountability system. Tell someone what you're going to do and by when. A coach, a partner, a friend, a mastermind group. Knowing you have to report back creates powerful external pressure.
Makes you not want to let them down. Or yourself.
Right. Third, break huge projects down. If something feels overwhelming, chop it into smaller, manageable milestones, each with its own deadline. Focus on the next small step, not the entire mountain.
Less daunting.
Much less. And finally, and this is absolutely key, measure your progress regularly. Track your actions, track your results.
What gets measured gets done.
It's a cliche because it's true. Seeing your progress builds momentum. Seeing a lack of progress, that creates instant urgency to get back on track.
Okay, so consistency powered by vision, but then create short-term urgency with deadlines, accountability, milestones, and measurement.
That's the formula.
It sounds fantastic, logical, but let's be honest, we can know all this stuff, right? Have the vision, set the deadline, and still find ourselves staring at the ceiling or scrolling social media or suddenly needing to clean the fridge.
We procrastinate.
Ah, yes. The beast of procrastination. Maurice offers a really valuable perspective here, I think.
Which is?
He strongly argues that procrastination is not usually a sign of laziness. It's not some deep character flaw.
Okay. That's good news, maybe.
It usually stems from specific, identifiable underlying reasons, and understanding your particular reasons is the first crucial step to actually overcoming the habit.
So it's a symptom, not the disease itself.
That's a great way to put it, and he outlines several common root causes.
Let's dig into those. What's a big one?
One of the most common is simply lack of clarity. You're just not sure why this task really matters, or you don't know exactly what the end result should be, or maybe you have no idea how to even start.
That kind of fog just makes you want to avoid it. Absolutely. It creates mental resistance. So the fix is, well, get clear. Strengthen your why. Write down the desired outcome. Break the how into tiny first steps. And crucially, don't be afraid to ask for help or clarification if you need it.
Makes sense. Get rid of the fog. What else?
Another major one is what he calls insufficient awareness. This covers things like mental roadblocks. Maybe you're making the task seem way bigger or scarier in your head than it actually is.
Blowing it out of proportion.
Yes, or there's a conflict with your values somehow. But the really big one under this umbrella is the future self myth.
Ah, we touched on this. Believing that tomorrow you will magically be better equipped.
Yeah, the idea that your future self will somehow have more willpower, more energy, more focus, be smarter.
So present, you can just kick back.
Maurice is really blunt about this. He basically says it's completely illogical. Your future self is not some separate person who will miraculously appear.
It's just you, later.
It's just you, later. And that future self is being built by the actions or inactions of your present self. You have to do the work now to become that more capable person later. Stop outsourcing responsibility to a mythical future version of yourself.
Ouch. Okay, that's a necessary wake-up call. What are the reasons for procrastination?
Well, there's poor focus. This ties into what we'll talk more about later, but basically, our modern lives overstimulate us. Quick hits of dopamine from notifications, email, social media.
Makes hard, focused work feel less appealing.
Exactly. Your brain gets wired for the easy stimuli, so tackling something difficult resists it.
Okay, then there's fear.
Yep. Fear. Often it's the fear of failure, or maybe the fear of success, or simply the fear of not doing a good enough job. Perfectionism paralysis.
What's the advice there?
Acknowledge the fears there, sure, but choose to act anyway. Recognize that improvement only comes through practice. The journey is the point, not just some mythical perfect outcome. And stop waiting for external validation to tell you it's good enough.
Act despite the fear. Then there's lack of urgency, which we already covered. No deadline, no consequences.
Easy to push it off.
Yeah.
Definitely. And closely related is lack of effective routines.
Habits, basically.
Exactly. Simple daily habits, like a specific routine to start your workday, can make initiating tasks almost automatic. You don't have to rely on willpower or motivation quite so much.
Which connects to his principle, action creates motivation.
Yes. Don't wait until you feel motivated. That feeling often comes after you start. Just commit to starting, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes. Often that's enough to get the ball rolling. Momentum builds.
Okay, and the last big reason.
Unnecessary friction. This is about your environment. Is it set up to encourage procrastination and distraction?
Like having your phone buzzing right next to you while you're trying to work.
Exactly. Or having social media sites just one click away. Or your email constantly open. You're adding friction to the productive behavior, working, and removing friction from the unproductive behavior, getting distracted.
So make the good habits easy and the bad habits hard.
That's the core idea. Maurice shares examples like turning off your phone and putting it in another room, using website blockers, even his extreme example of unplugging the internet modem. The point is, be intentional about designing an environment that supports focus, not distraction. Humans tend toward the path of least resistance. Make resistance high for distractions.
Wow. Okay, so understanding which of these clarity, awareness, focus, fear, urgency, routines, friction is tripping you up is key.
It's absolutely key, because then you can choose the right strategy to counteract it. You're not just fighting procrastination vaguely, you're addressing a specific root cause.
And always coming back to that idea. Today. Today is the day to act.
Today is always the most important day.
Right. So if we manage to overcome procrastination, or at least start winning the battle more often, the next piece is crucial for making that action count. Focus. Extraordinary focus.
Maurice doesn't mince words here. He calls your ability to focus your greatest productivity tool, your superpower.
A superpower. I like that.
Because it's what allows you to channel your energy effectively, prevent that leakage we talked about, and do deep, meaningful work. Consistent, focused work over time. That's what produces remarkable results. It can make an average person seem like a genius.
So it's worth asking ourselves, honestly, how good is my focus, really?
It's a critical question. And the state we're often aiming for during focused work is that feeling of flow.
Yeah, getting lost in it.
That deep immersion where you lose track of time, you're fully engaged, maybe even enjoying the challenge. That's the zone where high-quality work happens.
So how do we get there more often? How do we cultivate this focus superpower? The source gives some concrete steps.
Yes, practical things we can do. It really starts with creating daily routines.
Like we talked about for procrastination.
Exactly, because routines condition your mind and body for focus. Think of Stephen King's legendary writing routine. Same time, same place, signals to his brain it's time to work. Maurice suggests a 5-step process for kicking off a focused work session.
Okay, what are the steps?
1. Select a specific time block. Don't try to focus for 8 hours straight. Start smaller, maybe 45 minutes, maybe 60. 2. Prepare your mind. Take just a few minutes beforehand. Meditate, stretch, deep breaths, whatever helps you transition. 3. Decide on the task. Be specific. What one important thing will you focus on? Choose something demanding, challenging, effective, a real needle mover.
Not easy email checking.
Definitely not. 4. Just start. Remember, action creates motivation. Don't overthink it. Just begin. And 5. Commit, especially when starting out. Maybe commit to a 30-day challenge of doing one focus session daily to build the habit.
Okay, routine is foundational. Then, obviously, eliminate distractions.
Non-negotiable. This is about fiercely protecting that focus block. Notifications off, all of them. Phone out of sight, maybe even offer in another room. Close irrelevant browser tabs. Let people around you know you need uninterrupted time. Build a fortress around your attention.
And related to that, work without interruptions during the block itself.
Stay intense on that single task. Don't just quickly check email or peek at social media. Stay in the zone. And it's interesting, the source points to research showing that even really high performers often only manage about 4 hours of truly intense, focused work per day.
Only 4 hours.
Of that deep, deliberate kind of work. Many studies on typical office environments show actual productive time is far, far less, often just a couple of hours, because of constant interruptions and task switching. It highlights that working longer hours doesn't necessarily mean getting more done, especially if it's fragmented and unfocused. Diminishing returns hit hard.
That's fascinating. So short, intense bursts are better than long, distracted stretches.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Which leads to another interesting point. Lower your stimulation level.
What does that mean exactly?
If your brain is constantly getting quick, easy dopamine hits from checking your phone, scrolling feeds, clicking notifications, it gets accustomed to that high level of instant gratification. Then, when you try to sit down and do something that requires sustained concentration, like writing, coding, deep analysis, it feels boring, unappealing, difficult, because it doesn't provide those same rapid-fire rewards.
So your brain resists the hard stuff.
Exactly. Maurice suggests actively practicing being bored sometimes. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit quietly. Disconnect from the constant influx of stimuli. This can help reset your baseline, making deep work feel less like a chore and more engaging by comparison.
Kind of recalibrating your brain's reward system.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the tactic of batching unimportant work.
We mentioned this with procrastination, grouping similar tasks.
Right. Don't let things like email, admin, or quick calls bleed into your prime focus time. Group them together and knock them out during specific, less mentally demanding periods. Protect your peak energy for the peak work.
And take deliberate breaks. This isn't just stopping when you're exhausted.
No, it's about being proactive. Schedule short breaks into your work sessions, maybe using the Pomodoro technique or something similar. Step away, move around, rest your eyes. This helps you maintain intensity and avoid burnout before it happens.
Recharge before the battery dies. Makes sense. What about the journalistic philosophy?
Yeah, that's Cal Newport's idea that Maurice mentions. It's about practicing focusing anywhere. Don't just rely on perfect conditions in your office. Use small pockets of time throughout the day, waiting in line, on the bus, during a commute, to practice deliberately focusing your attention on one thing. Reading a challenging article, thinking through a problem.
Like doing little focus sprints whenever you can.
Exactly. Building those mental muscles in different environments.
Okay. And the final one, which might seem counterintuitive, practicing self-compassion.
This is so important. Maurice argues strongly against the idea that being hard on yourself makes you more productive. Often, it does the opposite. If you have a bad focus session, or you slip up and procrastinate, beating yourself up about it creates guilt and stress, which can lead to more avoidance. Being kind to yourself, acknowledging it was tough, but resolving to try again, that creates a psychological safety net. It actually boosts long-term motivation and resilience.
So forgive the slip-up and refocus. Don't spiral into guilt.
Exactly. Stop the self-berating. He even suggests trying a 7-day challenge of just being kinder to yourself when things don't go perfectly. Debunk the myth that self-criticism is productive.
Okay, so all these techniques work together to build that focus superpower, and once you have that focus, where do you direct it? The source brings up the 80-20 principle again.
Yes, the Pareto principle. It's fundamental to effective time use. The idea, again, is that roughly 20% of your activities, your inputs, will generate about 80% of your results, your outputs.
So the key is figuring out your 20%.
Absolutely. What are the vital few tasks that drive the most progress towards your most important goals? Maurice gives his own example. For his business, it's writing books and running effective ads. Those are his 20%. Things like spending hours on social media. Probably in the 80% of activities that yield only 20% of the results.
So identify your high-leverage activities and pour your best focus into those.
That's the essence of working smart, not just hard.
And to help us protect that focus, the source identifies 4 different types of distractions we fall prey to. Knowing your enemy, sort of.
Exactly. Recognizing how you typically get derailed helps you build defenses. The first type is being dragged.
Dragged.
Yeah, you intend to do something quick, just check one email, just look up one thing, and suddenly 30 minutes have vanished down a rabbit hole. You got dragged off course.
Oh, I know that one well.
The second is being interrupted. This can be external emails pinging, colleagues stopping by, or internals suddenly remembering you need to buy milk, or just having a random thought pop up. Breaks your concentration.
Kills the flow state.
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
The third is being seduced.
Seduced? By what?
By the easy, comfortable tasks. Instead of tackling that difficult, important report, you suddenly feel the urge to organize your files or check website stats or do some research that feels productive but isn't the main thing. You're seduced by busy work because it feels easier or safer than the hard stuff.
Keeps you feeling productive, but you're not actually moving the needle.
Precisely. And the fourth type is being fooled.
Fooled how?
This is about chasing the magic pill. Constantly looking for the perfect new productivity app, the ultimate system, reading endless books about productivity instead of actually doing the work, or creating overly complex systems that are impossible to maintain. You're fooled into thinking the tools or systems are the answer rather than consistent application of fundamentals.
The source has a quadrant image for this, right?
Yes, it helps visualize these. And the challenge is to identify which one of these is your biggest focus killer. Are you easily dragged, constantly interrupted, seduced by busy work, or fooled by complexity? Knowing your main weakness helps you target your efforts to eliminate or reduce it.
It's all about taking back control, intentionally.
Taking control of your attention, which is the gateway to controlling your time.
Which flows nicely into the final major section from the source. Thinking smarter and, crucially, leveraging your time.
Right. This moves beyond just managing the hours you have into actively multiplying your effectiveness within those hours. Thinking smartly is the foundation.
What does that involve?
It's about making better strategic decisions, shortening your learning curve so you don't waste time figuring things out from scratch, adopting a mindset geared towards mastery, not just dabbling, asking better questions that open up possibilities, and approaching tasks intelligently, doing the right things the right way.
Okay, shortening your learning curve. How do we do that?
Basically, learn from others. Don't try to reinvent the wheel if someone else has already figured out a faster route. Ask for help. Maurice uses that great example of needing translators. Instead of spending hours searching online, he asked a friend who knew the industry and got recommendations immediately.
Saved him hours.
Exactly. Read books by experts, take courses, ask for advice, and most importantly, act on what you'll learn. Don't just consume information.
Apply it. Then there's adopting a mastery mindset.
Yeah.
This sounds fundamental.
It really is. It's not a new concept, but Maurice emphasizes it heavily. It's about committing to a chosen path or process and sticking with it until you achieve results, resisting the temptation to constantly jump to the newest fad or technique.
Shiny object syndrome.
Exactly. He breaks it down into 7 pillars. Things like mastering repetition practice until it's second nature. Mastering the fundamentals, don't neglect the basics. Having faith in the process, pick a solid method, and commit to making it work before mixing and matching.
Okay, what else?
Being willing to learn. Stay humble, be coachable, take responsibility. Embracing long-term thinking. Connecting back to that vision. Being consistent daily action again. And focusing, directing your attention effectively.
You can see how all these concepts weave together.
They really do build on each other.
Well,
Another part of thinking smarter is asking empowering questions.
how does that work?
The questions you ask yourself shape your focus and therefore your reality. Instead of asking, why me, or why is this so hard, ask, how can I overcome this, or what's the opportunity here? Maurice specifically highlights the power of who questions for leverage.
Who questions?
Who already has the answer I need? Who has successfully done what I want to do? Who could help me achieve this faster? These questions lead you directly to leveraging other people's knowledge, experience, or resources.
Connects to shortening the learning curve.
Absolutely. And another way to increase the value of your time is simply improving your skills.
Getting better at what you do.
especially skills that directly boost your productivity or skills that are highly valuable in the market. And in today's world, maybe the meta skill is learning how to learn faster and better.
And that requires more than just showing up, right? He talks about deliberate practice.
Yes, crucial distinction. General experience is just doing the same thing over and over. You might get smoother, but you might also plateau. Deliberate practice is different. It involves intense focus on specific areas you want to improve, setting clear goals for each practice session, actively seeking feedback, constantly pushing yourself just outside your comfort zone, targeting your weaknesses.
Like the Harvard doctor study showed, just years of experience didn't automatically mean better skills.
Exactly. Without that focused effort on improvement, experience alone isn't enough. Deliberate practice is hard work, much harder than just going through the motions, but it dramatically increases the return on the time you spend practicing.
Okay, so all this learning, fast, mastery, asking who, deliberate practice builds towards the ultimate goal, leveraging time.
This is the core idea. Instead of just selling your time hour by hour, how can you use resources, your own or others, to multiply your impact, to get more done without necessarily putting in more personal hours?
How do we leverage? What are the key areas?
Maurice outlines 5 main ways. First, leverage other people's time. This is delegation, hiring, outsourcing. He gives examples of hiring freelance translators, editors, virtual assistants, even help with household chores. Anything that frees your time for your highest impact activities.
Okay, leverage time. What else?
Leverage other people's money, using loans or investment to acquire assets or fund projects, like using Kickstarter. Saves you the time it would take to earn all that capital yourself. Leverage other people's knowledge. We talked about this. Books, courses, mentors, advice. Saves you trial and error time. Leverage other people's influence. Building a network, getting introductions, collaborating, and finally, leverage technology. The internet itself is massive leverage, selling online, reaching audiences via YouTube, but also automation tools, Zapier, spreadsheets, email autoresponders, anything that automates repetitive tasks.
So it's about using all available resources strategically to amplify your own efforts.
Precisely. Stop thinking you have to do everything yourself, using only your own limited time.
And the final piece of the puzzle from the source, a framework to help manage all this, is the CEO-employee model.
Yes, this is a really practical mental model for structuring your days, staying focused, and ensuring you're working on the right things. You essentially wear 3 different hats at different times.
Okay, tell us about the hats. First, the CEO.
The CEO is the strategist, the planner. They look at the big picture, the long-term vision, and then decide what needs to happen today to move towards that vision. They set the agenda, they define the tasks, the what, the how, the why. But crucially, the CEO plans the work. They don't do the work.
Okay, so CEO plans, then who does the work?
That's the employee. The employee hat is about pure execution. Take the plan the CEO created and just do it. Single-minded focus on the task at hand without second-guessing the plan or getting distracted by other ideas. Trust the CEO's plan for now.
Just execute. Got it. And the third hat, the COO.
The COO is the Chief Operating Officer, the systems improver. Their job comes after the work is done, or maybe at the end of the day or week. The COO looks back and asks, how did things go? Was the CEO's plan effective? Did the employee have the skills and tools they needed? Were there bottlenecks? How can we make this whole process smoother, faster, better tomorrow?
So the COO analyzes and optimizes the system.
Exactly. Maybe the CEO needs to create better outlines. Maybe the employee needs to learn a new skill. Maybe the workflow itself needs tweaking. The COO provides feedback loops for continuous improvement.
So you could literally schedule time for each role, like CEO time in the morning to plan, employee time for focus work blocks, and COO time in the evening to review and adjust for tomorrow.
You absolutely could. Maurice gives examples, like for writing a book or managing a project, showing how switching between these roles helps maintain focus during execution. Employee ensures strategic alignment, CEO, and builds efficiency over time, COO. It prevents you from trying to plan while executing, or executing without a clear plan, common pitfalls.
It sounds like a way to take deliberate control, applying planning, execution, and reflection systematically.
That's exactly what it is. A framework to help you consciously direct your efforts and improve your effectiveness day by day, taking control of your own trajectory.
Wow. Okay. We have covered an immense amount of ground today, drawing from Thibaut Maurice's Master Your Time.
We really have.
We started with redefining productivity, not just busyness, but effective action, truly valuing time as this incredibly scarce, non-renewable resource.
shifting our perception to understand the power is always in the present moment, while using the past for lessons and the future for planning.
Making that crucial distinction between just spending time, letting it leak away, and actively investing it in things that build future value.
Harnessing the almost unbelievable power of daily consistency, fueled by vision, but grounded by creating short-term urgency.
Digging deep into procrastination, understanding it's not about laziness, but specific reasons like lack of clarity, fear, or friction, and tackling those root causes.
Cultivating extraordinary focus is our absolute superpower. Using routines, eliminating distractions, lowering stimulation, taking breaks, and practicing self-compassion.
Applying the 80-20 rule to direct that focus, understanding the different ways we get distracted, dragged, interrupted, seduced, fooled.
And then moving into thinking smarter, shortening learning curves. Adopting a mastery mindset, asking who questions, deliberate practice, and leveraging time, money, knowledge, and tech.
Finally, tying it all together with that practical CEO-employee framework for planning, executing, and improving day after day.
It really becomes clear, doesn't it? Mastering time isn't about some magic trick to find extra hours. It's fundamentally about mastering yourself.
Your perception, your focus.
Your habits, your choices. Moment by moment, day by day. It's about taking that intentional control over how you use this one precious, finite resource you have.
To build the life you actually want to live, the power really is in the present moment and how you choose to use it.
And considering, as the source reminds us, that today's energy cannot be stored up and saved for tomorrow.
What one small, consistent action towards your most compelling vision will you take right now?